Calafiori was one of those that was going to miss the game against, is it Estonia or Moldova? And Italy went ahead to obviously win that game. As they prepare to play against a team known as Norway, that is tomorrow, they coming through to obviously miss out on Riccardo Calafiori, and the manager of Italy has finally accepted that this can't be possible. His dream was to play Riccardo Calafiori in the game of Norway, but that is obviously not gonna be possible. Rokani David is my name. This is the Rokani Media Football, and welcome our new sponsor known as Century Gadgets in there for you. So Century Gadgets is your #1 stop for authentic and reliable brand new and used phones. That is Century Gadgets for you. Buy your dream phone today on +256 756 165 285, and that will be one of those moments that you'll never forget when you really get into this shop in there for you. So call them on that number. They are found at the new Pioneer Mall, that is PD35, and that's where you're obviously gonna find them, and you'll get yours today in there. So the new sponsors are Century Gadgets, and when we bring in a new sponsor, we expect you guys to obviously come in through and show this sponsor love. Now let's talk Riccardo Calafiori. Now Calafiori is not an injury prone player, but he never got injured at the Italian national team. He got a hip injury when he was playing for Arsenal in that game where they beat they drew with Sunderland 2-2 before we head into the international break. So that's exactly what went ahead to obviously cause all that pain in there for you. So he went there, and you know what national teams really do nowadays, because teams were so much into faking injuries. Now, even if you let them know the player is really injured, they tell you, let the player come to our physios and he undergoes what we call a check. And obviously, the diagnosis came in through when he was in Italy, and it showed that maybe the player would obviously find himself in a position of really recovering in time to play against Norway. That's what really went ahead to happen. So from there, they never really took him to Moldova, I think, and then they expected him to play on Sunday, that is tomorrow. But guess what? The physios of Arsenal were right, and they've gone ahead to obviously win this so-called battle, and they finally have their man back. And it looks like the Italian Federation has been ashamed by a side known as Arsenal, because as we speak right now, confirmed, Riccardo Calafiori has withdrawn from the Italian national team squad due to a hip issue and will now return to Arsenal. So Arsenal is smiling because they told them, and they are like, Arsenal is really faking an injury, and that wasn't the case in there for you. From there, we obviously get to Football Italia. They've come and told us that Riccardo Calafiori has withdrawn from the Italian national team camp ahead of the Sunday's World Cup qualifier against Norway, and will return to Arsenal ahead of the North London derby against Tottenham Hotspur next weekend. That is Riccardo Calafiori for you. Then Fabrizio Romano came up and told us that Riccardo Calafiori has left Italy camp today and returns to London to be assessed by Arsenal staff. Now, the coach Gattuso said he tried to be available, but he can't force now. That is it. Arsenal staff informed and not anticipating a big issue or problem. Now, this is the positivity that you obviously get from a man known as Fabrizio Romano, that Arsenal fans are not really worried, and they're not anticipating a big issue, because they knew to it that the player couldn't play and was not okay, and all what he needed was some treatment in the due course of that time. And it is something that they have been really giving him, because the physios of Italy have been communicating with the physios of Italy have been communicating with the physios of Arsenal to see what exactly can be the fair ground for this guy to obviously heal on time. Now, Football Italia has again come up and told us that, what have they told us? Football Italia have come up and they've told us the following, that Gennaro Gattuso has confirmed that Davide Fratesi will start for Italy against Norway on Sunday. Has explained that he has a decision to make in defense and has clarified why neither Riccardo Calafiori nor Sandro Tonali will be involved. So, even the player that will obviously deputize or stand in for Riccardo Calafiori has been named. He's Davide Fratesi in there for you, and he is really going to come in through for a man known as Riccardo Calafiori. So, for Arsenal fans, I shouldn't see you people get worried because you have very many options at the left back. Julian Timber can play as a left back. Hincapi can play as a left back. Lewis Kelly can play as a left back. So you are having three backups that can come in through and really put in a very huge shift for the club of Arsenal. So I don't think that this is really one of those stories that will obviously come out and really haunt any Arsenal guy. Though I've gone ahead to see others go that we are losing the trophy. Injuries have gone ahead to start. But do you know that Arsenal, lacked what we call depth in the attacking role? They didn't have Martinelli, Odegaard, Noni Madueke, Kai Havertz, Gabriel Jesus, and Gyökeres. 6 first-team players in the forward positions were really out, but Arsenal managed to obviously forge out wins in there for you. The prayer should be, can Arsenal really get back players, in the forward position after the international break? That is the most important bit of it all, and that's what Arsenal should pray for. So don't get worried about this, because all I understand is the side of Arsenal will obviously put in a very huge shift altogether to see to it that all really goes on well as planned. So Riccardo Calafiori is out, and we now wait for the physios of Arsenal to come up and tell us exactly how he will obviously be. Whether this coming week will help him to obviously be fully fit for the upcoming games, because they have to play Bayern Munich, Spurs, and Chelsea. And I think they've played Real Madrid without Riccardo Calafiori, and Lewis Kelly was really taking center stage. And this is I think this is good news to Lewis Kelly, having gone ahead obviously come up and really tell everyone how he, a story was really out through the media outlet of the Sky Sports, that he's thinking of really getting what we call a loan, in the January transfer window to see if they get with ample playing time. And if Riccardo Calafiori cannot make it in the coming games, obviously, first choice replacement will be Lewis Kelly, and then the manager will obviously try to see how they make ends meet. So that is it for Arsenal, but I believe Riccardo Calafiori can really return, because this injury has not been all that bad, but they couldn't force the player on the field of play to obviously cause more harm to the player. And ever since the season started, he has not gone out to miss out on any games. You understand? So if he hasn't gone ahead to obviously miss out on any games, then it shows you that the player has done his homework very well, because last season he missed out close to 30 plus games for the Arsenal side. And if you are a new signing, that's the situation you never want to find yourself into as a player, because when you find yourself in such a situation, it really creates a lot of worry in you and your fellow people in there for you. So that is it for Riccardo Calafiori. And for the people at Newcastle, even Sandro Tonali is injured. And he has also left the Italian camp. And those are two big misses, because I don't think that Italy now has a midfielder who is at his best, or who is in form like that player. That is Sandro Tonali. Sandro Tonali is in the form of his life, I tell you. And I think they will miss him in that game of Norway. And I think even Newcastle will miss him. However much they have Bastoni, they have this other midfielder that even Arsenal wanted, that left, was it Bologna and went to Sampdoria and went to Juventus, forgotten his name, So that's Italy for you. But all in all, we wait and see how things will happen. But looks like they are going to go in for a playoff in there, because Norway has already gone ahead to qualify automatically. That's what I had for you. Riccardo Calafiori flown to London, and he's not going to be representing for the Italian national team. We out.